أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد الفاتح الخاتم وعلى آله حق قديم الدار العظيم. السلام عليكم. Good afternoon, good morning everyone. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, all praises are due to the Almighty Allah, the Lord of the universe, the most beneficent, the most merciful, the sovereign of the day of judgment. You alone we worship, and from you alone we implore help. Guide us to straight path, the path of those whom you have favored, neither of those who have incurred your wrath, nor of those who have gone astray. O Allah, maintain your praise persistently upon our chief and master Muhammad, the key to that which is closed, the seal to that which is passed, the upholder of the truth by means of truth, the proper guide to your straight path, and upon his family according to his eminence and his great honor. Assalamu alaikum once again. Good morning, everyone. I am back on my series of lectures on the topic, the Divine Mandate series. If you could remember, in the last session, we were discussing how the chapters of Meccan origin are replete with verses that engage the Meccan pagans in a logical debate. In fact, how they were engaged in a philosophical conversation in which it was logically proven the unity and oneness of God, that there cannot be multiplicity of divinity at all. It's an impossibility. There cannot be a situation where you have multiple deities ruling the same universe or claiming to have created the same universe. That is why the Almighty Allah opened up for the debate so that the Meccan pagans can come forward and prove beyond any matter of doubt their claims of the fact that their idols deserve to be worshipped. As I made it clear in the earlier session, that divinity can never be a title that one can confer of any being of his choice. It must be earned. It can't just be claimed, it must be earned. And the Almighty Allah has already laid down how any being that can claim divinity can prove that practically by creating a universe comparable to this in which we live with his own creatures, so that those creatures he created should worship him. Because you can't just buy a house, for example, then somebody will come and claim the right to reside therein instead of you, or in spite of you, rather. That is whether you like it or not. You will enjoy the convenience of the house you built with your own money. You will stay there whether you like it or not, and will leave you outside. And in fact, perhaps after having built the house, you provided, you equip the house with all what it takes to make life convenient in that house. And somebody claimed the right to stay there and enjoy everything therein. So if you feel that this is an injustice, what more of someone who created a whole lot universe, with every single article, every single particle in the universe was created by him. Yet the right to be worshipped by those he created was transferred to another being. Is it possible? It is not. That is why the manner of engagement in the Holy Book used to be of such kind of style that the Meccan pagans are being challenged. The Almighty Allah will ask them, using our dear Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, as a medium. You will tell the Prophet to ask them, قُلْ هَلْ مِنْ شُرَكَائِكُمْ مَنْ يَبْدَأُ الْخَلْقَ ثُمَّ يُعِيدُ قُلْ اللَّهُ يَبْدَأُ الْخَلْقَ ثُمَّ يُعِيدُ فَأَنَّى تُؤْفَكُونَ. Ask them, oh Prophet of God, is there anyone of the deities you worship that can initiate the process of the creation and bring it to its perfect completion? It is one thing to initiate a project, and it is another to bring it to its perfect completion, or rather successful completion. One can start a project. In fact, all projects start in the form of ideas. No project can just emerge out of the blue. It must creep into your mind in the form of an idea. Then that idea will be developed into a vision. Then that vision will translate into action. Then that actions will represent your vision, and it will represent the entire project. That is the physical form of the project. The project will be brought about by the actions. Of course, you may divide the actions into smaller units of action. What to start with, what to proceed with, and what to complete with. So with that, definitely, the Almighty Allah challenged them. That's why the word bada'a, man yabda'ul khalqa. This can be understood better in a clear manner when you relate it to the statement of Allah in the commencing verses of the chapter Surah Fatir. In fact, the chapter is titled Fatir, meaning the originator. The originator. There is some slight difference between Fatir and Khaliq. Khaliq, the creator, while Fatir means the originator. Just like the verse of the chapter Surah Al-Baqarah where it says, Badi'us samawati wal ard. Iza qada amran fa innama yaqulu lahu kun fayakun. Allah is the originator of the heavens and the earth. Whatever he wished to bring to light, he only need that whatever he predestined to come to existence, all it takes for him to do that is to say, be, kun, fayakun, and it will come to pass. So that will tell you that the omnipower of God is omnipresence, and the fact that Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is in his kingdom the way he wants, and nothing can stop that. We may say things have gone out of control, meaning out of our own control. Many a times you hear this word, things have gone out of control. That does not mean out of control of the Almighty. out of our own control as creatures and weak creatures. But for the Almighty Allah, nothing whatsoever can go out of control. Things are under absolute control. So when you say Fatir Samawati, Alhamdulillah, the chapter opens with Alhamdulillah, Fatir Samawati wal Ardi, Ja'ilil Malaikati Rusulan, Uli Ajnihatin Mathna, wa Thulatha, wa Ruba'a, Yazid fil Khalqi ma yasha, Inna Allah ala kulli shayin qadir, Sadaqallahu al-Azim. The Almighty Allah said, all praises belong to Allah, the originator of the heavens and the earth. Fatir Samawati Ja'ilil Malaikati Rusulan, the one who appoints angels as his envoys. Rusulan, Uli Ajnihatin Masna wa Sulasa wa Ruba. Angels created with wings, some of them 2, some of them 3 wings, others 4. And Yazidu fil khalqi ma yasha. The Almighty Allah increases in the form of their creation, or rather generally in the form of every other creation, the way He wants. Meaning some angels might have thousands of wings or hundreds of wings. Scholars of Tafsir said, Angel Gabriel was once asked by our dear Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, how many wings does he have? He said, I have 6,000 wings. And my brother Israfil is created with 6,000 wings as well. But one wings of his is greater than my entire 6,000 wings. So you can see that is why the Almighty Allah challenged the pagans and gave them the right to fair hearing so that they can come forward and discuss their issues and furnish their claims with proofs and evidences, so that if they can prove their claim of polytheism, so they can do as they wish, as they can. That is why he said, Man yabda'ul khalqa thumma yu'id. Who has the power to initiate the process of the creation of the entire universe and then bring it back to life after it is utter destruction? There will come a day when the entire universe will come to an end. It will be utterly destroyed by its own creator. That is the end of time. After which, the resurrection day will be established by the same creator, on which day he will resurrect the entire dead creatures. He will resurrect them and bring them back to life for them to render an account of what they did, so that they can receive their reward for their righteous deeds and their requital for their evil ones. So this will go on to tell us that the Almighty Allah has a mechanism with which He rules the entire kingdom of creation. And He has His own established rules and regulations that can never be deviated from. This, what we call natural laws, are the established laws that were provided by the Almighty to regulate the affairs of the universe. That is why the day we die, that very day, a new set of human beings are born and brought into the world to replace us. In the same manner that we live as replacements of our forebears, we are here to replace our forefathers who died centuries ago. And there will come another century when we cease to exist, when we will be replaced by our grandchildren. They too will come and play their role on the stage of life, after which a curtain will be drawn on their performance. They will be taken back to where they came from, where they will be judged by the Almighty Allah. So that is why in our sojourn here in the world, we need to be properly enlightened and educated to know what is the most important thing to do. We need to be told that is the framework of priority, that we need to be taught how to prioritize. What is the top priority and what is next to it? When we misprioritize, we stand the danger of risking our entire lifetime. We need to understand that we can only judge the value of things based on the fact that whether they can be replaced or not, whether we can regain them after losing them or not. This should be our guiding principle when we are judging everything based on its value. Is it replaceable? Is it regainable? Can we regain it after losing it? Can we have a replacement of it? Can we have something instead of it? Can anything else serve its purpose after it is no more? This should guide our choice. This should guide our prioritization, so that we shouldn't commit the mistake of misprioritization. For example, let's break down the concept of prioritizing things based on their replaceability or irreplaceability. For example, when you lose money, it may be a terrible loss, of course, because money has turned out to be the life wire of our existence. It is the only instrument, it is the only mode of exchange between us and everyone else. Whatever we need from someone, for us to justify our right to what we need from someone, that we deserve it better than it is real honor, is to prove to him through the instrument of money that we need to buy it. Because whenever you go to the market with the intention of buying certain things, either things of essential need or things of auxiliary need, all the same, you need to prove the owner that you deserve what belongs to him much better than him. How would you prove to someone selling something that you deserve what he is selling much more than him? It is by paying him the money, the price of what he's selling. That money is a justification by you that you deserve that thing better. And from that moment going forward, if you accept the money as an exchange to what he is giving you, then you now have the right to what you collected from him better than anyone else. You can see the philosophy here. The philosophy of money is to justify taking from someone what belongs to them. that you deserve it better than them. If they sell it, then you prove to them through the instrument of money that you deserve it. And now there is a transfer of ownership of that particular thing that you have bought. Now the ownership is being transferred to you. He has already lost his claim of its ownership. He has no more claim. So that gives money a lifetime currency, a lifetime relevance, that it is the only instrument that can affect a change of ownership instantly without you having to thank the person you have collected that particular thing from. You don't have to thank him because you have already paid for it. You see? But that's why it is so painful. We find it very painful to lose money, for example. But here, if we want to analyze the extent of the value of money, is whether it is replaceable or not. When you lose your money, can you regain it? Can you get much more than what you have lost? Is there any possibility of that? Of course there is. Whoever loses money, he can gain much, much more than what he has lost. Whatever you lose in this world, anything material, you can regain it. You can get much more than what you have lost. That is why we can afford to be losing money on daily basis. In fact, human beings find themselves under compulsion to keep losing money to those providing them with goods and services. For you to get anything good or to get any service from anyone, you have to part with your money. You have to part with your fortune. No one will serve you free. Just as they said there is no free lunch anywhere, one has to pay. So you can only pay with your money. That means you have to concede the ownership of your money for you to enjoy goods and services from those who are ready to provide. If it was not replaceable, the Almighty Allah wouldn't have made it a rule that we have to lose our money for us to enjoy anything. We keep losing money, we keep gaining money. We spend money and we get money from elsewhere. But one thing that when we lose, we can never regain it, is our lifespan. No moment of our life can be replaced. Every single moment we lose, it is gone and gone forever. It can never be replaced. The next moment is a new one. Out of our lifespan, we keep losing our lifespan moment by moment, minute by minute, hours by hours, days by days, weeks by weeks, months by months, years by years. Until when we eventually get to the last year, the last month, the last week, the last day, the last hour, and the last minute, and the last moment of our material existence on the surface of the earth. That very moment will fall dead, whether we are ready or not. Can you see the value here? Can you see how the value of life supersedes any other value? Can you see how it is important, how it is critical for us to invest in every moment of our existence? Do you realize how important it is for us to analyze, or rather to even see where we need to invest our next moment, our next hour, in which venture, and how profitable that venture is? What do we stand to gain by investing every moment of our life in any venture? With time and investing, it will get us an eternal bliss. We need to ask this. We need to ask this critical question. It's very important. So once you take whoever you see suffering in this world, of course, it is the Almighty Allah that predestined everything. But I can tell you, the most dangerous thing of life is taking life for granted. Nothing is more dangerous than this. Because one will not understand what one loses until one is no more. Have you ever come across a situation where you can't analyze or you can't understand the extent of the loss you have incurred until when it is not replaceable? When you reach a point of no return, it is only there and then you understand the value of what you have lost. When you are helpless, when there is virtually nothing you can do. Can you see? You understand? So this will tell us that inasmuch as we continue risking our existence by taking life for granted, then, that is why it's not left for anyone to make this analysis to us. The Almighty Allah, in His wisdom and fairness to the creatures, had to dispatch prophets and apostles to explain to us the value of life. That was their job. No prophet will teach you the value of food and drink. No prophet will teach you the value of material survival or physical survival. That requires no prophet to teach. That requires no any divine intermediary. That we learn it by instinct. No creature needs to be told the value of survival. But when it comes to the value of life itself, that what you are losing day by day, the value of what you are losing without you investing therein is very, very dangerous. And the loss is irreplaceable. That is the wisdom behind the Almighty Allah sending prophets to explain to us the concept of divinity. That is, who create the concept of that. What do we understand? That is what we need to understand about the Almighty Allah. And what is the purpose of our existence? Because every creature must prove it must prove the material value of its existence. For example, whenever grass is ripe for consumption, cattle will come forward and consume them for them to sustain themselves. Anything that lives on grass will come and devour it, sustain itself. And such creatures, for example, if you can take lizards or things like that, they live on grass and on smaller insects. And when they consume them and they arrive for consumption in their time, then you can see bigger creatures like cats taking them for consumption. And when cats are grown up to their optimal size, they get consumed by dogs. When the dogs are full enough and fully grown up, then they will be devoured by hyenas and other ferocious wild animals. So you can go on and on. And when domestic animals attain their optimal size, they will be slaughtered and consumed by human beings. So when human beings attain their physical growth, that is, attain their full physical growth, which creature? Is there any bigger creature that consumes human beings as a means of sustenance? There is none. That means the grass has already proven the value of its existence by sustaining the lives of insects and all those who live on grass. Lizards and other creatures of smaller size prove the value of their existence since they were devoured by cats and thereby sustaining the life of cats, stopping them from dying of hunger. And the cats, in their turn, when they grew up to their optimal size, they proved the value of their existence by sustaining the life of the dogs. The dogs, in their turn, sustaining the lives of some bigger ferocious animals. In the case of human beings, when they grow up to their optimal size, who else consumed them to sustain himself or herself? No one. That means in the case of human beings, what is needed of them is not their physical form, their physical existence. It is their mental, psychological, and spiritual existence that matters here. What matters here is their spirituality. So when they fail in that regard, that means that those animals that help sustain the life of bigger animals are much better because they have proven why they existed. So we need to be told and taught the fundamental purpose of our existence. It doesn't make a sense for us to come into the material world striving for survival, trying to remain existent for years, trying to survive. After years of survival, then we'll fall dead and normal, as if we have never existed. Does it make any sense to you? If we will cease to exist one day, then why did we start existing in the first place? Why? Just we exist for the sake of existence. Does it make any sense to you? So that means it is a wasteful existence. Wasteful indeed. If so, it is wasteful. So there must be a greater meaning to our physical existence. Just not for the purpose of existence, we exist and cease to exist. What do you make out of our existence? What achievement? What can we call as our life? So there must be a greater reason for that. I'm going to stop here, inshallah. In the next session, we are going to continue.